Today, every person on Earth belongs to the same species, Homo sapiens. But this was not always the case. For most of human history, we were not alone. Different human species walked the Earth, they hunted, they built tools, they survived in environments where modern humans might struggle. These were not primitive creatures, they were humans. And for thousands of years, they shared this planet with us. Until one day, only one human species remained. Long before modern civilization, Earth was not inhabited by a single human species. It was a world of many humans. In Europe and Western Asia lived the powerful Neanderthals. In Asia, mysterious populations like the Denisovans left only fragments of their story behind. On the islands of Indonesia, the small and surprising Homo floresiensis survived in isolation. And across Africa, our own species, Homo sapiens, was just one human among many. Different bodies, different tools, different ways of surviving, but they all shared one thing. They were human. Around 70,000 years ago, something began to change. Small groups of Homo sapiens started moving beyond Africa, slowly, generation after generation. They crossed deserts. They followed rivers. They walked along unfamiliar coastlines. No one knew it then, but these migrations would transform the fate of every human species on Earth. Because wherever Homo sapiens arrived, they were no longer alone. As Homo sapiens moved beyond Africa, they entered lands that were already inhabited. In Europe and Western Asia, another human species had lived there for hundreds of thousands of years. The powerful Neanderthals. They hunted the same animals. They used fire. They crafted tools. They buried their dead. And for the first time in human history, two different kinds of humans looked at each other across the same landscape. The Neanderthals were not primitive. They were highly adapted to one of the harshest environments on Earth. Their bodies were shorter and stronger than ours. Wide chests, thick bones, built to conserve heat in freezing climates. They lived through long Ice Age winters, where survival depended on skill, cooperation, and endurance. They hunted massive animals, including mammoths. Working together, driving them into traps, using heavy wooden spears at close range. Their tools were carefully crafted from stone. Their clothing, made from animal hides, protected them from the cold. They controlled fire. They sheltered in caves and built simple structures, and they cared for one another. Injured individuals often survived for years because they were not alone. They had community. The Neanderthals were shaped by the Ice Age for hundreds of thousands of years. They lived in a world of cold winds, shifting glaciers, and scarce resources. Their bodies were different from ours, shorter, stronger, with wide rib cages and powerful limbs. Their noses were larger, helping warm the freezing air before it reached their lungs. Every detail of their anatomy was an adaptation to survive the cold. They were skilled hunters, but their strategy was dangerous. Instead of throwing weapons from a distance, they hunted at close range. Using heavy wooden spears, they approached massive animals, bison, deer, even mammoths. This required coordination, timing, and courage. Many Neanderthal skeletons show healed fractures, broken ribs, injuries similar to modern rodeo riders. Hunting was effective, but it came at a cost. Their tools were precise, carefully shaped stone flakes, designed for cutting meat, scraping hides, working wood. This technology, known today as the Mousterian tradition, was not random. It was planned, learned, passed from one generation to the next. They wore clothing made from animal skins, carefully processed using stone tools, wrapped and layered to protect against freezing temperatures. Some evidence even suggests they used natural adhesives to assemble tools and possibly secure clothing. They buried their dead, sometimes placing objects beside the body, and in some sites, there are traces that may suggest symbolic behavior, perhaps even early forms of ritual. This was not a primitive species. This was a different kind of human, adapted to a different world. For a long time, scientists believed that Homo sapiens replaced the Neanderthals completely, that when they met, one simply disappeared. But the truth turned out to be more complex and more human. In the early 21st century, ancient DNA revealed something unexpected. Modern humans still carry Neanderthal genes. Today, people outside Africa have between 1% and 2% Neanderthal DNA, a silent trace of encounters that happened tens of thousands of years ago. This means one thing: they didn't just meet, they had children together. These encounters were not a single event. They happened multiple times, across different regions, across generations. And these shared genes were not meaningless. Some helped modern humans adapt, improving immune responses, helping the body respond to new environments. But not everything was beneficial. Some genetic traits are linked today to disease, inflammation, even depression. This was not a simple story of replacement. It was interaction, exchange, and complexity. Two human species, different but close enough to become one, at least in part. For thousands of years, different human species shared the earth. They hunted, they adapted, they survived, and then they disappeared. The Neanderthals vanished around 40,000 years ago. The Denisovans faded even earlier. Others, like Homo floresiensis, were gone without leaving many traces behind. No single answer explains why, but the clues remain. Climate was changing, ice sheets moved, ecosystems shifted, food became less predictable. At the same time, Homo sapiens kept expanding, adapting faster, forming larger social networks, sharing knowledge across groups. Small differences that may have made a big impact. There may have been competition for territory, for food, for survival. Some populations were absorbed. Their genes still live on today. Others did not survive. And slowly, generation after generation, the world became quieter until one day only one human species remained: us. But we are not entirely alone. A small part of them still lives within us.